And guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for my live review of this week's episode of NXT UK from the Halloween. Well, it wasn't really a Halloween dish because they really didn't emphasize anything about Halloween, but I'm happy Halloween as well, since it is Halloween. Well, it's now November 1st. Thursday morning now. It's not Halloween anymore, but this is the review from both of the October 31st, 2018 episodes of NXT UK Live. Both episodes took place in once again at the Corn Exchange in Cambridge, England. I think to catch up with the backlog or something like that, they said that they decided to air 2 episodes this week instead of just 1. Not sure that's going to continue on since they did a lot of episodes over the summer. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a continuing trend for a while or if it was just a 1-week thing. We'll have to wait and see. Now, I usually, again, Wednesdays are my trifectas, but since it was the holiday and we're doing trick-or-treating and whatnot, I spent time with my family just, passing out candy. Well, then again, we only got one trick-or-treater came to my door whole night, but we were also playing like cards and whatnot, and we also watched Survivor. So I started a little bit late with watching NXT UK and 205 Live. I didn't watch NXT because it's starting to get late, so I at least want to get the UK review and the 205 Live review out first. That way, I have those done, and I'll watch NXT afterwards. And if I'm not awake enough to review afterwards, then I'll just wait till tomorrow morning to review NXT. So again, this is before I realized there were 2 episodes of NXT UK. I actually watched the second episode first, then 205 Live. Then looking back, I'm like, oh crap, there really is another episode happening for NXT UK. So because of that, I had to watch the first episode from today. So that's why, again, I'm going to do just the review both episodes of NXT UK in this stream, the 205 Live next, and then I'll watch NXT. If I am awake enough afterwards, so probably like 2:30 in the morning, then I will talk about NXT before I go to bed. So let's see if anybody else in the live chat. We got Dakota. What's up, Dakota? He said, "What's up, dude? That was bullcrap. The whole thing with Crown Jewel. Definitely can't believe Brian tapped out. Wasn't he always built to never give up?" That is true, but again, he did sell a psychology with his knee in that match last night with the what's it called now? When he did hurt his. I think Kayfabe was hurt his knee, so Styles did go after that injured knee. So it would make sense to see Brian tap out from an injured knee and whatnot. So I wasn't too upset about that happening, but you made a good point there. You think SmackDown will win a Crown Jewel with what Shane said? I'm not going to be watching Crown Jewel, but I'm still going to say The Miz is going to win. That way he had an excuse to be put into the WWE Championship picture, I'd say. But I'll keep checking the live chat here and there, but I want to get through this again because I want to do this 205 Live and then watch NXT. And if I'm waking up, I'll go to bed. By the way, if you guys notice, I'm wearing part of my Ed costume because I wore my costume I wore this past weekend in Atlantic City, which again I dressed up as Ed and Eddie. I wore my Ed costume, but I didn't keep the jacket on, so that's why that's not on. Anyway, so let's get into NXT UK here. We started off with a match with Trent Seven of Mustache Mountain and Saxon Huxley. It was just a good 5-minute back and forth match, pretty much between the two of them. The thing about these episodes of NXT UK is compared to the previous 2 episodes was they're still kind of in the phases where it's like we're still getting introduced to some talent, but in these couple episodes, the reason why I didn't give it as high of a grade is because the matches were shorter, and I'm starting to point like, okay, this is good wrestling, but I want to see a little more, story development here. Get some more involved stories. And the only story so far we're still building towards is one involving the Coffee Brothers and Travis Banks, and now also Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster and Wolfgang now in there as well. So that's almost where we're really developing so far. I know we're still introducing us to each of the competitors, but again, I'm starting to be like, okay, let's get some other storyline going here if you don't mind, if you know what I'm saying. And then again, keep it like 205 Live more based on wrestling than character development, but get a little bit of story in there too. So again, good episodes, both of them. But again, I want to be like, okay, let's get the wheels turning a little bit more here. You know what I mean? But the first match, Trent Seven won with a burning hammer on Saxon Huxley. It would set up for a tag team match to follow in the second episode with Huxley and what's the guy's name again? He was on the show also in a singles match. Sam Gradwell in a tag match against Mustache Mountain, but we'll get to that one shortly. The second match we got was Flash Morgan Webster taking on Mark Coffey. It was a good back and forth match as well to again establish, give Flash Morgan Webster his first match on NXT UK. We did see him in the championship tournament as well, here and there as well. Also, I definitely think he has a lot of potential. He's kind of like in the same characteristics as Mark Andrews and a few other, and Travis Banks and whatnot. The Coffey brothers got an interview before the match. We got a hype video, and Webster got an interview before the match, survives the numbers game, and then he eventually does have a roll-up win on Mark to get the win. Afterwards, they jump Flash Morgan Webster after the match and start beating him down, but then Travis Banks and Mark Andrews run in to chase him off, which because they were the ones who were the Coffey brothers attacked at Royal Albert Hall in the championship tournament, as the Coffey brothers more established themselves as like a heel alliance after I think it was Joe who lost in the to Banks in the semifinals, I believe it was, and then that's when they solidified themselves as a heel tag team. And again, as I keep saying, I'm pretty sure we will see them probably being the first ones to probably win the NXT UK tag titles, I feel. So just keep that storyline going as well. And of course, the numbers game came out. It was 3-on-2 with Andrews, Banks, and Webster and the Coffey brothers in the middle. They're chased off by them though. We didn't get a teaser promo for Ginny, who is in the Mae Young Classic this year. She seemed very talented, definitely from what I saw. And it looks like she is coming to NXT UK, so I look forward to seeing what she brings to the table when she gets there. Then we had Danny Burch making his NXT UK debut, taking on Sam Gradwell, who was one of the people, someone who was attacked by Pete Dunne in the UK championship tournament when Pete Dunne was kind of being more established, like the heel of the tournament. Even though Pete Dunne's a babyface now, they bring out Gradwell as a heel. It seems like here. Again, just find it a little bit odd because Gradwell suffered at the hands of Pete Dunne and his heel tactics in the first UK championship tournament, but now he's coming as a heel and Pete Dunne's a babyface. Well, Pete Dunne, he's seems more like a babyface, still kind of like a tweener in my opinion, more so. But anyways, he had his match against Danny Burch. It was a nice, short, brutal, hard-hitting affair because that's what Danny Burch is known for best with his tag team with Oney Lorcan on NXT as well. As like Oney Lorcan as of now is going to be on NXT UK. Danny Burch is more so going to be on NXT UK because of course he's from England and whatnot. But it's another short, hard-hitting match. Afterwards, he is being interviewed. He praises, England and whatnot for being great and everything. But then, of course, he eventually says he wants to get the attention of Pete Dunne, which does set up for a championship match, I believe, the main event of next week's episode of NXT UK, which we will be getting next week as well. And so at first I'm like, it's like Danny Burch to me when he was seeing him on NXT, he's great. Don't get me wrong, I love his tag team with him and Oney Lorcan, but I don't see him being a main event. Didn't see him being a main event level star in NXT. Like I see him also being just like part of a tag team, whatnot, maybe like a mid card guy. So maybe he'll prove me wrong in some ways. In next week's episode of NXT UK when he takes and see what he does in his championship match against Pete Dunne. So we'll see what happens there, but we're getting that's his next challenger, which is Danny Burch. So we'll see where it goes next week. We also got a video package for Jordan Devlin, who's someone else I was hoping to definitely see, in NXT or NXT UK now, of course, and we're gonna be getting him. I was impressed with his work in the UK Championship tournaments that we've seen so far. Since he has worked with Finn Balor, he reminds me a heck of a lot of Finn Balor. But of course, he's a heel also, so he's now like more of like a heel Finn Balor in the NXT UK division. Well, no, demon gimmick or persona to him though, but we'll be getting him in a match in the second episode of this week's edition of UK. And then we got our main event based off of the promos last week. It was Zach Gibson taking on Noam Dar. It was a 20-minute match, which caused this episode of NXT UK to go a little bit over the 20-minute mark. I mean, I don't know, not over the 1 hour mark, which is, it's okay. We had Noam Dar working on Zach Gibson's leg throughout the match, but he was never quite able to finish him off. Again, Dar suffered a little bit of leg injury as well. And he seemed to, at one point almost took a countout victory to Gibson. He was all the way on, on the ramp of the stage, and then he made it back for a count of 10. But then when Dar went for the supernova kick, where he calls it, he swung and missed in the air, and Gibson then threw Dar into the ring post and hit the Helter-Skelter for a pinfall victory. The crowd again was just just booing the heck out of Zach Gibson, as he's been has displays great heat and whatnot for a heel, as he of course gets the win over the young upstart Noam Dar, who again I've really been enjoying. I've become a lot more of a fan of him since they turned him babyface and not being that heel who was stuck with Alicia Fox. But that was the main event of the first episode we got this week of NXT UK. Overall, again, not bad. First episode was not too bad. I mean, I'll give it both shows an overall grade. Overall grade from both shows at the end. Again, it was mostly just featured a lot of short matches, though, except for the main event, about 20 minutes, which was excellent. But it's a lot of shorter matches just to introduce more characters and whatnot, which is okay. But once again, it was to start getting the wheels turning a little bit here, if you know what I mean, because we've seen most of these guys wrestle already. Live chat. Let's see here. He said NXT was really good. Awesome. He liked the Dar and Gibson match. I did too. He's not that big in a Flashback website. That's okay. That it'll be Team Corbin versus Team Angle Survivor Series, and Ambrose will be on Corbin, Rollins will be on Angle's team, which I pretty much saw that coming as well. And he hears that Jordan's going to be back soon. Really? Because I kept hearing for a while that Jason Jordan might not be able to return to the ring of his neck, but if that's the case, good for him, definitely. I heard that Hulk Hogan is going to be in Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel. Quite ironic he's returning there based off what he's been doing. Once again, still not watching it. I'm not going to watch it. TMZ asked Orton about Cien Alcapine. Yeah, I saw that video. I like how Orton's like, does he even still wrestle? You're gonna love who is mentioned for War Games. Really? I'll have to check that out as well. Again, I watch NXT after I do this in a 205 Live, but thank you for letting me know. But once again, no spoilers. But thank you for letting me know that stuff, Dakota. Moving on to the second episode of NXT UK. We kicked off this week with Mustache Mountain. The first episode we had Mustache Mountain and Trent Seven taking on Saxon Huxley. But then this time it was Mustache Mountain taking on a team of Saxon Huxley and Sam Gradwell, who in last episode took on Danny Burch in his NXT UK debut. Not a bad match, again, just short back and forth action, just pretty much put Mustache Mountain. I mean, because we've seen Tyler Bate in a match with Wolfgang in the second episode. Of course, third episode again, Trent Seven got his singles debut. But this week it was more so establishing that Mustache Mountain is probably right now the team to beat in NXT UK. Of course, they're coming off of a brief but effective NXT tag title run when they beat the Undisputed Era at Royal Albert Hall, and obviously they lost the titles back in a possible tag match of the year candidate. I still feel the match where Tyler Bate had to throw in the towel because of Trent Seven's injury, but so pretty much this match is established. They're going to be team to beat. But again, I'm still thinking, eventually when it gets to the tag titles, it'll probably be them taking on the Coffee Brothers. And again, I think the Coffee Brothers are going to be the ones to win the NXT UK tag titles when they debut. Maybe eventually we'll see Mustache Mountain take them, but I think it's going to be the Coffee Brothers win them first. I mean, if Mustache Mountain do win the NXT tag titles first, that's fine with me. I mean, NXT UK tag titles first, again, that's fine. But again, the Coffee Brothers are really rad. I think they are the more established and more have more momentum going than the rest of the team so far. I'm not sure if this team with Sam Gradwell and Saxon Huxley will continue or not, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, this week's main event in the second episode was supposed to be Travis Banks taking on Wolfgang. But then after the opening match of the second episode, Travis Banks was seen backstage taken out. And then he says, we'll worry about the main event. Johnny Saint has to come with something for the main event. We get another hype video for Isla Dawn, or sorry, Isla Dawn, who was eliminated, fell a little too early from the Mae Young Classic, but she's going to be on NXT UK, which I think is awesome. Get another hype video for Ginny. And then we have Mark Andrews asking Johnny Saint for a chance to replace Travis Banks in the main event. He also says the Coffee Boys are to blame for the attack on Travis Banks, which, seems obvious. Could be, well, I'll get to that a little bit shortly also, who could be it also. But instead now it's going to be Mark Andrews taking on Wolfgang in the main event of the second episode. We then have Isla Dawn taking on Nina Samuels. And again, another short match. Again, the match that Isla Samuels had with Toni Storm wasn't too bad. On the first episode of NXT UK, gave them a little bit more time than this. But this one, it wasn't given too long. It was just a kind of a squash match to introduce Isla Dawn to NXT UK, and I feel she'll be a great addition. We were told in this episode, though, in 2 weeks, though, we're going to get a really good women's match for NXT UK with Toni Storm, this year's Mae Young Classic winner, and Dakota Kai in 2 weeks. I hope that would be the main event of that show, because that match is going to be awesome. Again, I became a bigger fan of Toni Storm after her Mae Young Classic match against what's her face, Mako Satomura. Again, I feel like that or the SmackDown Women's Championship last one standing match are so far my top two contenders for women's match of the year, I gotta say. So I feel like, Toni Storm and Dakota Kai, especially, I felt Dakota Kai put up one of her best matches last week when she faced off against Killer Kelly. So I look forward to see what she brings to the table when she faces off with Toni Storm on NXT UK next in 2 weeks, hopefully in the main event, as I said before. We need to see Pete Dunne getting interviewed. He's not worried about facing Danny Burch for his title. And we also get a quick promo from Jordan Devlin about representing Ireland. And then we get confirmation that Andrews will replace Travis Banks in the main event. And we get another good promo from Eddie Dennis, continuing where he left off from the last time he had promos, talking about how, he was tired of, seeing, his friends, take on his dream while he's, being one of the youngest school principals. So then he eventually tried out and he got signed. And he says that Dunn and Andrews didn't call him while he was injured, and he has everything to prove after Dunn and Andrews advanced in WWE without him. So he's pretty much trying to storm right past his friends. We had Jordan Devlin then taking on Tucker in his debut. Again, it was just another short little match just to introduce Jordan Devlin. Not too much to expect from it, but it is what it is. But again, Jordan Devlin is going to be another big name in NXT UK. We also get Danny Burch interviewed about his title shot as well, which I think is going to be next week. I think we're going to get that. And he says he's going to make fans believe that he can win, which again is more like it, because again, as I said before, when he made his debut match against Sam Gradwell in the first episode this week of NXT UK, again, I like Danny Burch, but I didn't see him being contender for the UK Championship, like a strong contender. So maybe he can prove me wrong and show that he really can do something as a single star. Again, I thought maybe be more like a mid-card star, but he could be something more with his UK division. So I hope it's kind of like, gives him a little more of a spotlight, and he could, transform that momentum onto the team of him and Oney Lorcan as well on NXT as well. So, so we had that segment. And then finally we had our main event. Again, it was originally supposed to be Travis Banks making his NXT UK debut. It was first NXT UK match against Wolfgang, but instead, as he was taken out earlier, he's going to face Mark Andrews instead. The match I thought was pretty good, big man versus, smaller underdog guy match. I'm a big fan of Mark Andrews. Again, I really liked his performances in the 205 Live Cruiserweight Championship tournament earlier this year. Why is there a bug on my wall? That was very random to say. But and I think him and Wolfgang worked very well together here. Mark Andrews though would go on to eventually defeat Wolfgang, and afterwards, Wolfgang was never sure whether he was more so a face or a heel. Like they never fully established it. He had a couple matches in NXT. I think he had like a couple tag matches. I think he did have one UK championship match against Pete Dunne, I think, on NXT. But after the match, though, he shows a sign of respect to Mark Andrews, shakes his hand, and as he's getting ready to leave, out come the Coffee Brothers, and Wolfgang's just standing there first, and he attacks. And the Coffee Brothers attack Mark Andrews. Then out came Flash Morgan Webster to join in, and it looked like Wolfgang was going to help save him because he came into the ring, but then he ended up aligning with Mark and Joe and beat them both down. So it looks like that the Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang have formed some type of an alliance here, and the Wolfgang is more so going to be more so of a heel. It seems like. Before he was kind of like a tweener to me. Now he seems more like a heel. I'm not going to do a turn on him though. Again, it's just establishing this is what he's going to be pretty much. I know sometimes I've made exceptions and done them. Or it just depends on what Smart Gal has to say about it. So I'm not going to I can't really say Wolfgang's going to full on baby face or heel yet, but this is him just more so established, which is fine. He's a bigger man. I think, I'm interested to see where this goes with him and the Coffee Brothers. We're probably going to get a 6-man tag match eventually with the Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang taking on Flash Morgan Webster, Mark Andrews, and Travis Banks, which should be a pretty good 6-man tag match. A bunch of bigger guys taking on, a couple of, like cruiserweight style wrestlers who could be good in 205 Live someday if they want to put them there. Mark Andrews already had his showing in there as well with the championship tournament. Maybe we'll see him more often. We're actually going to see him next week though, but it's going to be a UK and 205 Live special pretty much we're going to get next week since Raw and SmackDown are going to be in Manchester next week. But that's how it went off the air. Again, that was how our 2 episodes of NXT UK went tonight. With that being said, both episodes again, they're both good, but again, in my opinion, we need to start getting more than just these introducing more characters. We're going to get a few more down the line, of course, but let's get some stories rolling here a little bit more too. So hopefully like some longer matches in there as well. Well, because most of the ones we got were like short, like 5-minute matches. I'm sure we're gonna get some of them more down the line, but I'm pretty sure things again things are good so far with NXT UK. So I just hope it just kind of starts to get the wheels turning a little bit more. So I guess this episode is just a solid B. I think for this week's up, for both these episodes combined for NXT UK. Check the live chat quickly. I'm going to move on to 205 Live in the next review. John Morrison is coming back, which I hear would be awesome if John Morrison came back. He's still on Survivor right now because I watched that tonight also. I did hear rumors that Cody Rhodes, Omega, and the Bullet Club or whatnot said they weren't going to be coming to WWE anytime soon as they're going to focus on All In 2. But if they do come, okay. What's up, Team Skyway 206? Smash, kill Mary, Lacey, Candice, or Bianca. Mary, Candice, smash Lacey, kill Bianca. That's what Dakota said also. Smash, Mary, kill Kelly, Trish Stratus, Maria. Mary Maria Kanellis, because again, a couple weeks ago when her and Mike debuted on 205 Live, damn, she really caught my attention. Smash Trish Stratus, kill Kelly. Kelly kill. Almost the same with that. Best superstar to dress up as for Halloween, probably be Finn Balor. You heard that Rollins is going to win. Okay, interesting. Mary Kelly, man. Pete Dunne to 205 Live or SmackDown. Put him on SmackDown, I'd say. Do you think any people from the UK will go to the main roster? I think eventually, yes. Definitely Pete Dunne. Noam Dar is doing good on 205. Doing good. He can go into 205 Live. Maybe SmackDown eventually. Zach Gibson, maybe. Tyler Bate, I'd love to see on the main roster as well, and a few others. But I think so. We had the Lucha House Party going to Raw, so it does give some hope for like Cedric Alexander and several other ones. But Kelly is the only one with natural breasts. True, but I I just find Maria and Trish a little more attractive than Kelly Kelly, in my opinion. But I'm pretty sure, you know, I would insert Kelly Kelly in there in some ways. I don't like what they are doing with Cedric. I mean, it's somewhat interesting, you know. Well, again, I'll talk about that in 205 Live. We'll get there next, of course. But I'll check out now and move over to my 205 Live review. So, guys, once again, I'll give NXT UK for both episodes a B for this week. I'll grade review of NXT UK. Thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure to always click my like and subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemanRyan93, and I'll be right back in just a minute to do my 205 Live review next. So until then, guys, I will see you all then. Peace out.